Am I the asshole for refusing to tell my mom, 56 female, details about my 23 female professional life because of things she said 5 years ago? I, 23 female, graduated from college cum laude a bit over a year ago with a STEM degree. I now work in a... Is it cum laude or cum laude?
I have no idea.
Okay, because one time I mispronounced Maldives and I said Maldives like 18 times and I still am receiving shiz for that. Yeah, hate mail. Hate mail to my P.O. box.
I actually don't know what it is.
Cum laude?
I can read it on the paper.
Summa
I can't
laude?
say it out loud.
I don't know, dude. I'm going to say cum laude. I don't speak Italian. I mean Latin.
I don't speak either one.
Okay. So she graduated this with a STEM degree. I now work in a job related to my field of study. Don't want to say what. I'm married, fully financially independent from my parents, and haven't lived at home in over 5 years. Generally, I'm proud of myself and content with how my life is going at the moment. I'm not 100% sure what I want to do for a career, but I'm okay with that. The issue at hand. When I was in high school, I was a decently high-achieving kid. 4.9 GPA, honors everything, national merit scholar, extracurriculars out the wazoo, etc. I'm not saying this to brag, but just to describe who I was as a student. Very motivated and consistently at the top of my class. Despite this, it seemed that my efforts were never enough for my mother. She was always pushing me for more extracurriculars, 100s instead of 95s on exams, etc. This put a damper on our relationship that only worsened when the summer before my senior year came around. Although even early action college applications weren't due until October, November of that year, my mom was adamant that I applied to all 11 of my potential colleges over the summer. I was busy with multiple sports and my summer job. I told her countless times that I had everything under control and it was okay to submit them later, but she wouldn't listen. She would scream at me that with my attitude I would never amount to anything and I would end up flipping burgers at McDonald's, that I was useless. First of all, no one is useless.
Someone needs to flip
even
those
people
burgers.
That have jobs like that.
We need you.
Yeah. Well, shockingly, I did end up applying to all 11 colleges. Not only did I get into every single one, but I amassed a pretty significant amount of scholarship money. When I showed her each acceptance and scholarship list, she wouldn't apologize or tell me she was proud. Instead, she told me that all my successes were only because of her, that if she hadn't reminded me to submit my applications, I never would have applied to college at all. She repeatedly told me that anything I achieved was only because of her efforts, not mine. Frankly, it was demoralizing. Fast forward to today, I live over 2,000 miles from my mother and refrain from giving her any details about my professional life and career aspirations. She's told me numerous times that I'm being unfair, that I'm misremembering that past, and that she can help me in my career path. She says it's not fair that I'm holding things, she said, out of stress over her head from years ago. I don't feel a ton of remorse, but my husband has mentioned that maybe it's time to forgive her. Am I the asshole for this?
Dang.
That's sad. Dang, I didn't know we were going to end on a sad one.
That's hard because I feel like I faced similar. Like when I was applying to, our parents were much more tough on me than they were on you for a lot of things. So like not to this extent, like I don't want to make my parents out to be like crazy, but they were definitely much more tough on me than they were on Kelly. And I have to say, I feel her pain. I get it. I've been there. Like obviously I said, not to that extent, but I felt those feelings and it has definitely made me keep a number of things to myself. Like, to be completely honest, I went to college, finished school, decided I didn't want to use my college degree, went back to nursing school, and actually didn't tell my family when I got accepted and decided I was going back to nursing school. Do you remember how you found out? Someone else brought it up on the beach in front of you. Like, I told a friend who brought it up in front of you. Fast forward to my current situation, I'm in nurse practitioner school. Same thing. I actually didn't tell my family when I was applying, and I actually didn't tell them until I even started my first class because I was like, I don't know how this is going to go. I don't want the lectures of like, can you handle this? Can you handle that? Are you going to keep your full-time job? This, that, and the other. So it's like, although my situation was not nearly as intense as that situation, I have very much continued to live my life the way I have because of a situation like that. Don't get me wrong. My family is beyond supportive of everything I do. I wouldn't ever not tell them something. I wouldn't keep secrets from them and like move 2,000 miles away and leave it up to my future husband that they might not have even met to like decide if I should forgive someone. Like, I am never going to make it to that extreme, but I have definitely kept things to myself because I'm like, I don't know that I need to like push the envelope and get everyone else's take on what I'm doing at this point.
Yeah, I feel like that is true with a lot of things. I feel like just overall, when whenever someone has like an out of the box or like anything that's like not typical like goal or life path, it's always everyone's first instinct to tell you not to do something or to tell you to be more conservative. Like rarely if you were like, I'm going to change my entire career and throw away this degree and go back to school for something completely different. Like rarely is the people that love you, is their first reaction going to be, okay, yeah, awesome, do it, have fun. They're going to tell you every reason why you shouldn't do it. And I feel like it's also because people tend to have a scarcity mindset, or not even scarcity, but just like fearful mindset. A lot of people, just because of the world we live in, I feel like have tendencies to think worst case scenario and be more conservative because it can be dangerous and risky to change your entire life. So I feel like maybe partially your mom, I mean, how this girl was treated is not fair, but maybe her mom had her own problems that she was dealing with. I'm not saying that you now need to completely forgive her and just move on, but maybe there was other reasons why she was acting like that. I feel like you don't need to tell her everything, or maybe set boundaries with her if you can and be like, I will tell you what my plan is or what I'm interested in, but I don't need your advice.
Right. Say I will share with you, but I don't want feedback.
Yeah.
No feedback. No, that's great because my thing with that is I don't want any feedback because I don't want to hear you say that's so great, because then when you don't say that, I know what you're thinking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if I tell you 3 things and with the first one you say that's amazing, the second one you say, oh, okay, I get it, and the third one you don't say a word because I say I don't want like negative feedback, I know what you're thinking. So I want no feedback. And that's part of how I was with like going back to school. I just kind of waited until I was doing it.
Yeah.
And same thing with this next time I went back to school. I waited until I was doing it. And I was like, by the way, I'm in school now. And like kept that to myself so that people weren't like, how are you going to do this? Are you sure you can do this? And it still happened. It's still like, how are you going to pay for school and keep your full-time job and do school? If I'm doing it, I've already figured it out. So I don't want anyone's feedback on it.
Yeah.
But you just need to have that mindset. But I don't think you need to cut off your mother because of it.
Yeah. Make decisions about what you feel comfortable sharing with.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you try to set boundaries and your mom doesn't know how to adhere to them, I feel like that's a learning lesson. And like, you don't have to, but you could try one more time. Try to set boundaries, see where it goes. If your mother doesn't agree to them, then maybe you're like, okay, I'm not going to tell her anything. I tried like one time as an adult, like that was when I was a child.
Sure.
I tried one time as an adult. It either went well or it didn't, and make the decision from there. You don't have to. You can do whatever you want, but it's something to consider.
Yeah. Yeah. Decide what you're comfortable sharing. Draw the line in the sand with what you're comfortable getting back from her. You can tell her straight up, like, I will tell you X, Y, and Z, but you cannot respond, or this is how you can respond appropriately. See how it goes. And there's your answer.
Yeah. And just be ready for negative feedback regardless of what you do in life.
For sure.
It's everyone's first instinct, which is kind of sad.
Everyone's a hater these days.
I know. It's like, I get it. Like, it comes from sometimes a place of love, but I also feel like it comes from a place of jealousy and insecurity.
Yeah.
And not being happy with your own life. So you're like, wait, but you can't be happy because I'm not happy. So you shouldn't do X, Y, and Z because I hate my job, even though that's not what people say. It's what they think, I think, sometimes.
I try not to think too much.
It shows. Just kidding.